Hi guys, Lever here from Bright Young Brains. In this video, I am going to give you tips on what you need to do in preparation for your final exams. So the first tip that I'm going to give you is quite simple. You want to remove the gap between prelims and finals. Try not to think that there's a lot of space between prelims and finals. Your main goal should be to recuperate energy, get enough rest. You wanting to make a bunch of plans with your friends, I understand, but that is not relaxing. Trust me, the days will always end up you being tired, spending money you wish you really did not spend. You may as well just save that money for December. Do not think you have plenty of time to just do a bunch of things. You will not be resting by doing whatever it is you think you'll be doing. The best way to rest is the blunt thing to do. Get as much sleep as you can. You know how well you like sleep. Get enough sleep. Binge watching on series at this point in time may not be a very good idea, because you may just be sitting down or lying down. You are still just spending energy. So try as best as you can to avoid that. Tip number 2 is be in good books with your educators. So when I say be in good books with your educators, I mean just don't be finding yourself in a situation where you're always fighting with your teachers. So if you do not like your maths teacher, if you do not like your physics teacher, if they do not like you, yeah, that's a bit of a problem. Now you may think to yourself, your educators are not going to take you seriously. That is not true. Your educators will always take you seriously if they see that you are also taking yourself seriously. So you can imagine that one teacher that maybe does not like you. Imagine how they're going to react when you go to them and you're asking them something like, "Ma'am, what is it that you think I can do to improve my marks?" Now, obviously, depending on the teacher, they may start off by saying something like, "Oh, you're always talking in my class. What do you mean by what can you do to prepare? You mean like it's too late?" But if you carry on the conversation in a way that shows that you're genuinely concerned and you genuinely want to do better, I promise you, they will be able to give you valuable information that you may not necessarily find from anywhere. Tip number 3 is basically a shameless plug, but it is definitely a plug that you will be happy you bumped into. So as you can see, where I am is at 22 on Sloan. This is where we're going to be hosting our in-person workshop on the 18th of October and on the 19th of October 2022. So the workshop is going to start at 8 in the morning and we're going to be ending off at 3:30 in the afternoon with a break in between. As you can see, the idea behind the workshop is we will be able to work on whatever we need to work on the whiteboard, and for those that will be joining in online, we will be able to interact with you via that huge screen over there. If you don't want to show your face, that's still 100% okay. We will be able to maybe in some instances just read your questions. You'll be able to send through your questions. We'll be able to see you. This is going to be something you definitely do not want to miss. As you can see, the seats here are limited. This table though is huge. It's big. You can already get the vibe. It is going to be electrifying. This is something you definitely do not want to miss. If you would like to sign up, the link for that is in the description. For you to be able to attend in person, that is going to cost you $999. If you would like to join in online via Zoom, that is going to be $399. The link to that is in the description. So that is basically tip number 3. Sign up for these workshops that we will be hosting periodically, because these kinds of workshops are the kinds of workshops that you will definitely always get value for money for, because the kinds of questions that are going to be asked here, imagine how many brains are going to be here. There are certain questions that are going to be asked that you may not have thought of, or questions that you would have thought of but never got the chance to ask at some point in time. Now remember, you signing up for a workshop, you're putting your money where your mouth is. You will basically be putting skin in the game, in the sense that you know you'd have paid for something, so you holding back to questions is something that you'll be less likely to do. Tip number 4, start studying as soon as possible. Now if you are an A student, 80s, 90s, and you know that you definitely thrashed prelims, fine, you have a bit of leeway. However, if you do know that you're still getting your 50s but you want a 60, or you're getting 60s and you want a 70, or you're getting 70s and you want an 80. Those topics that you know you still do not understand, do not think that someone is going to flash some magic wand on you and you are miraculously going to start understanding those topics. If there are certain topics you still just hate and you still just don't like them, they're not going away. You might as well just do your best to understand them. Obviously, one way to do this is, for example, to sign up for things like the online courses. Speaking of the online courses, anyone that does sign up for the workshop will automatically have access to the online courses, meaning that prior to the workshop, whatever it is that you'll be working on, you will be able to take note of very detailed questions that you would want to ask, very detailed questions that you would want to get addressed, so that on the day of the workshop, everything runs as smoothly as possible from your end. You will know exactly what you want, and this is going to be a collective effort, right? All the students that are going to be here will all have questions from different angles. Some of the questions will be similar, some of the questions will be different. So obviously, tip number 4, put in the extra work. Tip number 5, well, it's basically linked to tip number 4. It's a simple phrase: stop looking for hacks, just put in the work. It's as simple as that. Now, the thing is, most of the time, everyone is asking for what is the secret, what is the quick way to do it, what is this, what is that. There's no avoiding putting in the work. You just have to put in the work. Me saying you need to put in the work, I just mean stop clouding your brain with too many things that are just unnecessary. At this point in time in your life, there are not many things that are very important to you except for your schoolwork. Okay, so make that a priority. Keep that as something that you need to prioritize above a lot of other things. Going out, spending time on TikTok, whatever, there's always time for that. There's always time for everything, but preparing for your finals, just prioritize your schoolwork. For more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any questions for me specifically, you can check the description for my IG handle, and I will be able to answer whatever questions you may have. Until next time, peace.